Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, once again, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph, here for video number 2. Video number 2, right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video and subscribe right now to this very channel and my other channels. All the links are down below in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Do it now. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos on my respective channels from the past, present, and now. Well, past, now, and in the future, Conan, that's what I meant. But all these super comments you get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely, and then Ozzy and Satan will come out and laugh at you, and then eat your garbage, rotting soul. So don't do it. Go do it somewhere else. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, once again, you're SOL. I think we all know what that means by now. If you don't know, too bad. You'll know eventually. And that's that. And for our newbies out there, as we're getting close to 1,300 subscribers on this very channel, and on the Killer Demons channel as well, thank you for that. Hopefully we get to 1,300 on those channels by around Labor Day weekend. Got a couple weeks away, so hopefully we'll get there. We'll see. Thank you all so far for subscribing. And when you do subscribe, as we say in the business, because it is a business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax. You grab that big, tasty, cold one. Just Coke straight, baby. Drinking the good stuff. And that's that. So grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, get out of here. Go watch something else. And pretty much go fuck yourself. And that's that. Let me move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Wednesday night, you know what that means. We got AEW Dynamite coming up at the top of the hour. Should be a quick show. We got the ED, baby. Well, the Elite, Kenny, by God, Omega, the champion, and the Young Bucks. They're going to be teaming up as the Elite to take on, well, 3 members of the 6,000-member Don Callis family. And Will Oceanspray is going to be teaming up with his United Empire crew. And that's Hanare and, I forget the other guy's name. I think Shane Haste. To take on other members of the Don Callis family in a boring trios match. 2 boring trios matches I could care less about. We got that. We got more of the Continental Classic. We got John Moxley. He's in the tournament. I think it's the quarterfinals, I believe. He's taking on the Switchblade. Play with the Switchblade. Jay White. That should be a great match tonight. See if Moxley can stay in the tournament. Because if he doesn't, he loses that Continental belt. The Continental Breakfast of Champions belt. And the finals will be at All In. So the winner of the tournament becomes the new champion, unless it's Mox. And they also get the Continental Cup. And then we got the Continental Classic all the way in December. So whoever wins gets the cup and becomes a new champ, if it's not Mox. And then in December, we crown another new champion, which makes some freaking sense. I have 2 fucking things this year. Just have the cup, let them win the cup, and then they get a title shot at the Continental Champion. That's what I would do. Tony Khan. But I digress on that. Anyway, but we got that. But that's tonight on TBS for your 2.5-hour cure for insomnia. And that's pretty much it. But before we get to tonight, let's go back a week. Let's talk about last week's show. And this is your AEW Dynamite and Collision review for last week, August the 12th and August the 15th, 2026. Alright, so we start off, as always, with Dynamite, which is from Vegas. Love you, I'm on we go to Vegas! So we're at the beautiful Pearl Theater at the Palms, a great hotel there in Vegas. And our commentary team, a little bit different. As always, we got, well, another great hotel in Vegas, Excalibur, the man behind the mask, Excalibur. Excuse me. Where's the Big Slow? Paul White, and my good buddy, Tony Baloney Schiavone. That's, well, Tony Baloney Schiavone, or for people that love Jericho, Tony Schiavone. Alright, so we're done with Grand Slam Mexico. Now we're pretty much 1 week away, we can change away from their WrestleMania in Wembley Stadium, all in, I believe it's number 5. I could be wrong on the number, but whatever. We're going all in next Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. And at 3 p.m. we got NXT Heat Wave, which we'll talk about tomorrow. We'll talk about all the stuff from this coming week, probably late tomorrow, because I do got some errands to run tomorrow. I'm a busy guy, so I can't get all the reviews in on time, so I apologize for that. Alright, so let's get into that. Alright, so we start off with Will Ospreay, reach for the sky, whoa! Bam! He comes out, gets us going. He's glad to be back in. He was so glad to be back in Arena, Mexico last week. Because last time he was there, he found out that his grandfather had passed away. So, my condolences go out to Will Ospreay and his family. So, he wanted to be there for some great moments of his life, but that wasn't going to happen. And what he learned is that he has to do some things to be the biggest star in AEW. And he's in AEW to set an example, and that's why he was in a Mexican street fight last week, which he beat Mark Doyle last week, the former national champion, the guy that kind of injured his neck. We got that. And he says, one person I was watching at home on his sofa, that was the world champion, Kenny by God Omega Bang. And he says, last week, Kenny probably said, oh shit, he's going to pull the trigger. And since Kenny's actually in the building, why not you come out and grace us with your presence there, Mr. Kenny by God Omega, the champion. But instead, he gets Penis Head. Don Callis talks about how he and Kenny won the world title back in December of 2020 during a pandemic years, I should say. Then Kenny decided he could do this on his own, so Don had to stab him in the head with a screwdriver. We all remember that, in the cage, I believe. But the reality is, so Don says, well, the reality is you owe Kenny, pretty much me and Kenny, everything, and the reality is the road to Wembley is paid in your blood. So then the Don Callis family come out, and I'm like, oh, great. I think 3 or 4 schmucks come out for a big old beatdown, and then Kenny comes out with a pipe that looked like a freaking, didn't look like a pipe, looked like a hose pipe, or almost like a crowbar, but anyway, comes up with a pipe to stop the madness. Then he's like, damn it, Will, don't you ever think? I warned you about Don Callis and Moxley, and look what's happened now. You're a fucking wreck. And that's why you're gonna lose to me at All In your home country, because, I don't want to face this schmuck that's getting beat down all the time. I want to face the Will Ospreay from 2017, 2019, when he was so big in Japan. So Kenny helps him up and says, I'm not going to save your ass again. And from now on, it's the 2 of us. Basically 1-on-1, whatever he said. Blah, blah. So Will appreciates the help, though I didn't really ask for your help. I don't need your help. And that's it. Why is Don Callis involved in this bullshit? That's bad booking by Tony Khan. That didn't involve Kenny's former manager back in New Japan and pretty much the beginnings of AEW. Dumb. It'd been worse it's worse with Mox is involved because of what, Will kind of turned on him, at Forbidden Door, so why not? Or Rebellion, too, if you think about it. But it is what it is. So we'll see what happens tonight on the program. And that's that. Alright, then we're going to recap of the Continental Cup Challenge. Whatever that. We run down the card for the rest of the night. Then we see another video package of Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, the so-called OTC. But he's not the OTC, because we don't have to put up our ones. Actually, we do put up all ones for Max. So here's to you, Max. Fake OTC. Attacking Andrade El Idolo. And then, we're going to find out who is number 2 in the Casino gauntlet, I think we already kind of know who number 2 is going to be. Anyway, because number 1 is Andrade. So, we get to our first match of the night for the number 2 spot. Nick freaking Wayne, who will be facing Bandito on Friday for Death Before Dishonor. I'm going to be doing my, I might do my predictions early Thursday or early Friday for that. Review coming on the weekend, of course. So we got that. So Nick freaking Wayne, Max, and Speedball, Mike Bailey, otherwise known as Ken from Street Fighter. So Max's leg still heavily taped up, still fucked up from when Roosh fucked him up. So he goes to the floor, does commentary for a little bit, lets Nick Wayne and Mike Bailey do their thing, and then he finally gets in the ring. And pretty much near the end of the match, he gets in the ring as Mike Bailey goes for the ultimate weapon and miss. No word of proof for you, sir. But he gives Nick a Falcon Arrow, does the deed. And then he goes to the Shooting Star Press and hits that for a near fall. Then he has to save MJF, I don't know why, and Nick Wayne. Then he hits the ultimate weapon on Nick Wayne, but MJF, being smart, runs in basically from commentary, or from the outside, and then locks Nick Wayne in the salt of the earth and wrenches back, and Nick Wayne, well, does what his mom does, taps out. Hey, you know that from experience right there, Mama Wayne, from getting fucked in the ass by Christian? Mm-hmm. How's our mothers doing this evening? And our fathers, too. Because Christian is somewhere around. I digress on that. Alright, so Max is number 2. Andrade is number 1. We get that. So after the match, Max is on the mic, brags about his win, and then we hear the music of Andrade. But he doesn't come out. Max is like, hey, he ain't coming out here. Ah. Yeah, maybe he was in Mexico doing something else. It's like, oh, he isn't here because after the beating I gave him, Andrade is scared of me, just like Kenny, by God Omega, and Will Oceanspray, who will find out that he is the one true champion, the OTC. You're not the OTC. You're not. You're not a tribal chief. You're just a prick from Long Island. That's all you are. And that's all I gotta say about you. I lost all respect for you now. But I digress on that. Moving on. Alright, then we get the AEW Women's Champions, Divine Dominion, Lena Cross, and the Megasis, Megan Bayne. They go to the bar where the Brawling Birds are, knock some beers over, then make some threats. And really isn't the friendly tap. You just go there, have some beers, and all the guys are looking at them, and then they beat the fuck out of them, you know what I mean? I would just look like, damn. Would you like a drink? Here you go. Here you go, Megan. Tell Joey Janela he's a fucking prick. Bye! And get on there! Moving on. Alright, after that, we go to the back where my good buddy Mick Foley, he's with, well, some members of, he knows this pretty well. The Bang Bang! Bang Bang! Right, Mick? Bang Bang! It's very tasty, these Doritos! Okay, Mick, I don't want Doritos. I'm not hungry for Doritos, but they're very tasty, I know. I'll have some later. Okay, you have a nice day! Okay. So Mick's with the Bang Bang Gang. Jay White, the Switchblade, Ace Austin, Colton and Austin Gunn. Austin Gunn's going out with Blake Monroe, or is it Colton? I don't know. One of them's going out with Blake Monroe. That ain't gonna last, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, so it's Jay White, Juice Robinson, the guy's banging, we all know he's banging and impregnated Toni Storm, because that's where she's been home pretty much the whole year. Colton Gunn going out with Blake Monroe. I say lucky guy, but yeah. She could do way better than that guy. Way better. So, Blakey, hit me up on on X. Slide in my DMs. I'll slide into your DMs. Mm-hmm. But I digress on that. And we move on. Sorry about that. Anyway, so it's with them. Jay White welcomes him to the team. I didn't even know he was part of the team. Now he's there. Because, well, Cactus Jack. Bye-bye! So anyway, Jay White threatens David Finlay after their Continental Challenge match coming up. And they do the guns up. And Foley's like, how do I do this? This way? This? I mean, come on, Mick. Mick, how can you not do the bang? You've been doing it for 30, 40 years. Oh, don't let me, I'm old. Nah, you do really shut up. Cactus! Oh no. What? Now what, Terry? I wanted to tell that Hammerdigger he's old! I beat him so many times in his head he can't even remember how old he is! Well, you got hit in the head so many times you don't even know how old you are! That's true, but I was a hardcore legend in Japan! Japan! #1! Forever! Thank you, Terry. And ever! Okay. We get it. Terry, stop hitting me in the head! Cactus, I'm dead. I can't hit you in the head anymore. Just don't run into doors anymore. Okay, Terry, I'm gonna eat some Doritos. Have a nice night. Goodbye. Okay, get out of here. Morons. But I digress. Alright, so they do the pose and nobody cared. Alright, so then we get to David Finlay and Jay White. I think there's a unlimited time limit in this tournament. That's pretty damn good. But nobody can come out the ringside. So it's kind of like the Continental Classic where you can't, there's like a 15-20 minute time limit. I don't know. But anyway, pretty good match, back and forth between former leaders of the Bullet Club, even though David Finlay fucked over the Bullet Club. That's why we don't have the Bullet Club anymore in Japan. Good job, David. You know. So, Jay White goes for the Blade Runner, gets counted into a Brain Buster on Finlay's knee, or the collateral damage for a near fall. Jay White slips out of a suplex, then hits the Blade Runner. 1, 2, 3, he advances into the next round. And like I said, tonight, Switchblade versus Mox. Not for the title, but should be. But we move on with that. Great, good match though, good match. Alright, then we got the new AEW Trios Champions, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. No, we're not gonna have, Mr. Clint Eastwood and company coming out. You know, God rest Clint Eastwood's mighty soul. But anyway, so we have the Hangman, or the Gardener, Adam Page, and Brodito S.A., which is the Ring of Honor champion Bandito, and Brody King. Who? They come out. Brodito get to be happy about their win and becoming Trios champions. But then, Swerve is back with Prince Nana, because Adam Page off. Prince Nana throws Tony Schiavone. He's like, get out of my ring, Tony! Hey, Tony, my good friend Tony Baloney, you need to, skedaddle when Prince Nana talks to you. So anyway, so he leaves. So Swerve says, the three of us, or all of us have had issues with Hangman, but now you're all friends, Joy. Swerve goes over his issues with Brodito, and then all leaves him coming back to Adam Page. He's like, you did all this stuff, and now you can't even go for the world title anymore. You suck. So, now you're with these two guys? So then Adam Page is like, well, what have you done here in 2026? A whole lot of nothing. And then you see freaking Strickland like, oh, he's right, yeah, he's right. Because it's a fact. And then, these guys come out, the man, Ricochet, aha! You know, the Gates of Agony, Bishop Quan, not Quan, and Toa Leona, and Lethal Twist, which is Black Machismo. Not this guy, but the other guy. Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson. They all come out to interrupt. Ricochet talks about how this is trio business. Mox Swerve for dropping the Gates of Agony. Well, yeah, back then. And he mentions last week Toa Leona's shoulders were not down, so the titles should go back to the demand. Oh, that ain't gonna happen because referee's decision is final, you bald fuck. So Swerve needs to get the hell out of here. Swerve is about to leave, and then he stops, calls Ricochet a bald-headed bitch, which he is. And then Ricochet turns down Adam Page's challenge for, I guess, a trios match. And that's basically it. I was hoping that Swerve would, he mentioned, I want to fight the trios champions, and then we get a New Day reference, or Daybreak, or whatever they're going to be, Kofi and Xavier, or Kofi and Austin Creed. Nothing. Maybe we get it tonight. I have a feeling we're going to see the New Day at All In. Well, not going to be the New Day. We're going to call them Daybreak. I don't know. We'll see what happens tonight. And that's it. Alright, then from earlier in the day, we see Mercedes Moné, the CEO, beats the fuck out of the AEW Women's World Champion. That's Willow Nightingale, sitting down with an interview with Renee Paquette, beats the fuck out of her, and then calls her a dumb bitch. Speak for yourself, there, Mercedes. So we'll see what happens with that. We move on. Alright, back to the ring we go for the TNT title. We have the Jet, Kevin Knight, taking on our good buddy, Chris Jericho. Judas in my mind. Great song, by the way. So let me go at it. Jericho sends Kevin Knight to the outside, hits a dive, and Jericho stops to sit on Paul White's lap. Take that for what it is. But actually, it was still a good match, but what a horrible fucking botch-filled ending. So anyway, so we get to that part, and they're in the ring. Jericho has, I think Jericho had Kevin Knight in the walls of Jericho, and then he drags Knight from the middle to the ropes where Don Callis is. Boom! Screwdriver! And you see it from a fan's point of view. I mean, if you looked on Twitter, the fan showed it's like, oh, look at the botch by Jericho. You see it. Jericho's like this, and then I think he was trying to call for Don to do the spot. Come on. That was fucking horrible. And then the rest of the match, I didn't give two fucks about. Kevin Knight hits coast to coast, gets a near fall. Jericho with a code breaker out of mid-air. And then Kevin Knight kicks Jericho in his huevos, hits the crash landing, 1, 2, 3 to retain the title in just under 13 minutes. Match was terrible. Terrible. It was started off good, but then, right near the end, that spot just killed it for me. I was like, we need to get Kevin Knight off that TNT title, and Jericho just needs to, do something else. I'm sorry. I love Jericho. I mean, I love his singing career, but his wrestling career is pretty much going down the toilet. Since he came back. Got that one thing with Ciampa. That one match with Ciampa. And then everything, garbage. This match was, I thought it would have been decent. No. If I had to rate it, 2 out of 5. I would have went lower, but I'll give Jericho some credit. So, 2 out of 5, that's it. Alright, then we got the Swiss Claudio ready for anyone in the Continental Cup Classic. Moxley appears to do the same. And then we get some grappling. As my light goes on. With the grappling taking place while Claudio was talking. He's like, we're gonna fire the crowd! I'm like, damn! That's interesting. I'm gonna get that. Moving on. Alright, then we get to your, Tony Khan special of the night. We got Chris Cakelander taking on, Viva Van, who's only won one stinking match, and that was in Ring of Honor. Jeez. She's a great indie wrestler. She's won titles in Singapore, all the way in Thailand, maybe some other indie companies, but as soon as she came to Ring of Honor, one win. One. Nothing on AEW television. 0 wins there. But anyway, Cakelander wins with Saturday Night Fever in pretty much over 3 minutes, smidge over 3 minutes. Did I say a smidge over 3 minutes? 3 minutes? So I call 3-minute warning. Oh no! Look at that. And then after the match, Mick Foley comes out, announces a fatal 4-way for the TBS title, as Maya World will defend her belt against the CMLL Women's Champion Persephone, the former champion Hikaru Shida, and Chris Cakelander. So Statlander says, I'm ready for some revenge. And then Hikaru Shida and Persephone come out for their tag team match with Maya World and her partner, Thunder Rosa! Yay! Alright, so they come out and have a meaningless 10.5 minute tag team match, which is alright. Get to the end, Shida hits her Falcon Arrow, she does the deed for a near fall. Maya World makes the save, gets jumped by Persephone, and then Thunder Rosa takes Persephone out. Tabletop suplex gives Maya World the win over the former champion again. She got her number like she has Athena's number, but she's facing Athena at the Death Before Dishonor? No! We got Timu Io taking on Athena Friday night. She gonna win? Probably not. So Athena's 1,300 plus reign continues on to pretty much going to 1,400. Whew. Nobody's gonna beat Athena at this point. I mean, it's almost September. And what's next? After Death Before Dishonor, Final Battle. There's nothing in between. It's sad. So by the time we hit Final Battle, Athena will be pretty, I would say, about 1,500 days and counting with that belt. Almost 4 plus years. If you do the math. 365 or 366. 365 times 4, but he added a day. Because of the leap year. It's crazy. 4 plus years with the belt. It's crazy. Like, she's like Roman. Roman held it for 13-16. Athena says, you know what? Fuck that. I smashed that to bits. She's pretty much on the road to 1350, 1375. I mean, we'll see what happens. And now Dynamite is just about to start. Shit. Forgot about that. I forgot. Alright, so we started off Dynamite with the 8 men left in the Continental Cup Challenge. And like I said, we got Jay White and Mox. We got Nigel McGuinness. I guess he chased her out, but Nigel's got a bad foot. Still gonna do the tournament. And he's still got to face Lee Moriarty for the pure title at Death Before Dishonor. I don't know if that's going to happen. We got that. Widow Nightingale and Mercedes are going to have a sit-down interview with Mercedes, with Renee Paquette. You know, that's going to end in chicanery. Alright, so we got Will Ospreay, Akira, the other Akira, Hanari taking on Brian Cage, Lucky the Mano, SA, and Lance Archer. Everybody dies. And then the Bucks and Kenny. Well, before that, Kenny and Will have a sit-down interview with Renee Paquette, and then the Bucks and Kenny are going to take on the, what are they taking on? Oh, they're going to take on 3 more members of the Doghouse family that nobody fucking cares about. But we're going to start with Will Oceanspray, reach for the sky, whoa! Bam! So we're going to start with Will Oceanspray's 6-man tag team match as he reunites with United Empire, Hanari, and Akira, like I said, to take on the Don Doofus family. And that's pretty much it. Reach for the sky, whoa! Alright, we got that. Alright, moving on. Alright, so Maya World pins Shida in this 6-woman tag, tag team match, excuse me, in switch over 10.5 minutes. That was actually pretty decent. Alright, then we hear from, this guy. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, guys! It's me, your good old buddy, Darby Allin! I'm back, guys! Did you miss me? I miss you guys so much. I just want you to know, I'm going back. I'm still fighting for that TNT title, and I'm gonna win it from Kevin Knight in Wembley in that Falls Count Anywhere match. I want to kill myself just for you guys! Because I love you guys so much! Ha ha! I weigh 150 pounds. I live in Seattle. I'm so fucking emo, guys! Ha ha! Go away, Darby. Anyway, we get that. So Darby talks about how he has no regrets from his world title reign, which lasts like a month. Because he gambled and lost. Yup, pretty much too. You gambled, lost to, I think you lost to MJF. Sucks for you. Then he was attacked by Kevin Knight. So now Darby wants him in a Falls Count Anywhere match at All In, which was already announced. Alright, move on. Alright, then we got the Proto Star! Kyle Fletcher, the Intercontinental Champion, wants to defend his belt at All In, and he wants to defend it against Takeshita, the former champion, but Don Callis is like, nope, you're not going to face Takeshita, you're going to face this guy, and that's Okada! So the family keeps the belt. If you lose, we still have the belt. So Fletcher says, well, he doesn't say yes, so not official yet. So I don't get it with the Don Callis family. We don't like each other. Some people don't like each other in the family, but somehow they make it work. Go figure that one out. So it looks like we're going to get Okada and Fletcher. I would dare to say Okada wins, and then we get Okada Takeshita, I think 2 or 3 in a tree for the belt, and Takeshita wins it back. I don't know. Maybe at All Out. I don't know. Alright, so we move on. Alright, so we start off with the Continental Cup. Jon Moxley, this is the main event. This was epic. Jon Moxley takes on Jungle Jack Perry, and boy, woo, Jack Perry was leaking like a pig, and that's something rare for him. Moxley was you see a little bit of blood, but not much. So you can't go a Moxley match without some type of blood. But anyway, we get near the end. Moxley goes off with shots to face, to the point where the referee's like, "Get him off of him!" I'm like, Moxley's gonna listen to you? Anyway, so that's enough for Jack Perry to get back up. They exchange forearms, which Moxley usually wins that. But Perry won this. Pulled him into the snare trap, and then Moxley's like, somehow gets out of it, slaps on the Bulldog choke, and pretty much makes Jack Perry go night-night. So he gets the win in an epic match. I gave 4 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, something you don't see from Mox that much, Code of Honor, you love to see that. So it makes Jack Perry look strong. I get it, it's great, Moxley did that. Mutual respect, I guess, maybe out of the ring. But match itself was great. And that's that. So Moxley advances. He's going to face, like I said, he will face Switchblade Jay White in the quarterfinals. See if he can keep going, or he will most likely lose that belt. I think he goes to the finals and loses. I think. But we'll see. See what happens to that. But all in all, Dynamite wasn't that bad. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And that's pretty much it. Now, we're going to go to Collision. As soon as my notes... Excuse me. As soon as my great notes come up. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the Mets won today. 5-3 over the Padres. So I took 2 or 3 for the Padres. Big series there. Big win there. So then the Mets have won 11 of 15. They're on a pretty good streak. We're not even in September yet. We got about, I think we got 5 weeks to go of the season. 5 or 6 weeks to go of the season. I know the Mets are like 10 games out. Actually, let me check that. As of now, I know there were 10. Let me check that. Okay, so the Mets have won, are 58 and 70. Still 12 games under 500. 2.5 behind, as of now, 2.5 behind Washington, who are just about to face the Rangers right now. They got tomorrow, too. The Mets don't play till Friday in Chicago. Plays the White Sox this weekend, who they should destroy. And then, after that, they come back home for a tough 6-game series with Milwaukee and the Astros. Then they go to Tampa Bay. That's tough. Yankee fans, you're going to be like, hey, Mets, can you help us out? You know. And then, Labor Day weekend, they're home for the Giants. Then, that's 6 games from hell, right after Labor Day. after Labor Day weekend. Labor Day, they're in Miami. That's a tough series. Then they got the Yankees for the September 11th series in the construction site in Yankee Stadium. But Mets could, really put a dagger in some teams' playoff hopes. So right now they got 128 games, 34 games left. I would dare say if they can win 20 to maybe 25, there's a hot, not a big possibility, but they could really make at least a run for the wild card but not get it. They could end on a good note. I'd be happy with that. They get to 500. I think that's some sort of at least something to go into the next season with. Because I think after the deadline, they got rid of the garbage, like Peralta, and sadly they got rid of Luke Weaver, which I don't think they should have got rid of. But got rid of some of the problems in there. But, Senga's become a god in the bullpen. Who knew? I would dare say they keep Senga and put him in the bullpen as a closer. What? I don't know about that, but with David Stearns, I don't know with him. We'll see. But right now, the pitching has been pretty good. I mean, they laid a stinker last night because Tatis, Tatis should be a New York Met, by the way. I'm just saying. And they're going to get Skubal. I don't know if they're going to get Skubal. Unless Uncle Stevie Cohen, opens up his big, fat his big fucking paycheck, checkbook, I should say. But now with a lockout, dare I say that, he even opens it. But, hey, Tariq Skubal on the Mets with freaking McLean, Scott, maybe Thornton. Then he put maybe Manayo's kind of having like a semi-renaissance. That's a pretty good top 5. So, I mean, we'll see if there is a season next year, because you know how the owners are assholes, thank you to the Dodgers, who ain't playing well, and guess what? Edwin Diaz, bye-bye, so long, farewell to your season. Ha ha! And Jorge Polanco, thanks for coming for your cup of coffee, because Jorge Polanco's out for the season. What a waste that was. I think he has a 2-year deal. They're gonna probably pick up that contract. He's gonna play next year. Why? Get him out. I would rather have Jared fucking Young at first base than Polanco. And as far as Mark Vientos goes, he's supposed to be doing some rehab games soon. Fuck that. Get him out. Goodbye. Mark Vientos out. Goodbye. You're no longer a Met. Thank you for 2024, but get out of here. That's all I gotta say. But Mets are doing some good shit right now. It's exciting. So let's get somewhat interested, Met fans, okay? Got the day off tomorrow. Let's wipe the White Sox out this weekend. We have to sweep that series. Then come back. Hopefully have a pretty decent homestand. I would love 5-1. 4-2 would be nice too. But if we split that 6-game series, at least it's something. But if they go 2-4 or 1-5, but it's Milwaukee, it's Houston, it's gonna be tough. So we'll see. But they should destroy the White Sox this weekend. Destroy them. That too. Excuse me. All right, let's quickly get to Collision. Once again, from the Pearl Theater at the Palms in Vegas. Same commentary team. So that's that. All right, so we started off with the trios titles with the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Brodito and Hangman Adam Page taking on Lethal Twist. Jay Lethal, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson. Decent match. Went 12 minutes. We're getting to the end. They hit a parade of strikes. Blake Christian can moonsault. Proper move in the entire match. Everybody was hitting it to Brody King. Lee Johnson adds a big splash from the apron and a Eddie Guerrero-like frog splash. Did you like that, Eddie? No, not really. I wasn't even watching. Okay. I don't watch Collision that much anyway. Okay. At least you're honest. I'm always honest, because I'm Eddie Guerrero. You remember that, pendejo? Okay, sorry, I'm sorry. Alright, so hits the splash. Into a 450. That gets a near fall. Kick out stuns Blake Christian. Adam Page comes back in with a buckshot. Then the X-knee from Bandito into the Gunzo Bomb. 1, 2, 3. Poor Lee Johnson. Oh boy. Julia Hart's probably gonna have to do a lot of you know what. That's massaging, you dumb fucks. And another massage on the dick too. Fucking Julia Hart, lucky bastards. You know what I mean? Lee Johnson got a nice piece of Asian Julia Hart. Happy for them. That's good. But anyway, 12-minute match. The champs retain. And, that's it. Moving on. Alright, after the match, excuse me, Ricochet comes out with the Gates of Agony to jump the champs from behind. And then Lethal Twist gets back up. Pretty much like a 6-on-3 beatdown. Nobody helps them. I mean, it's sad. Let me move on. Alright, Penis Head, Don Callis ready for Heishiso and the Machine, Brian Cage, to face off in the Continental Challenge. Coming up tonight. Don Callis offers an interesting translation for Heishiso's words of friendliness. Right! Like you know Spanish, essay. Rosa knows more Spanish than you do, Don Callis. Pendejo. Cabron. What? He said what? I'm not gonna repeat that. She said something way off the wall. I'm not gonna repeat it. You go cook. Thank you. Anyway, so we get that. After that, Roddy! Roger Strong and Kyle alright, Autopars say, may the best man win in their Continental Challenge match. What the hell? Akira's like, to Brian Cage, and Brian Cage's like, fuck you, Akira. Popped him right in the mouth. Damn, Hanari is strong. Picked up Lance Archer with a Samoan drop. And then Brian Cage did nothing. Ow! Poison Rana to Brian Cage. By Ocean Spray. Then Rocky Romero, the cheating bastard that he is, uses Stefan, the referee, as a nice, as a distraction. Then he picked him up and he kind of lawn darted him into Akira's ghillie cutter. I thought that was pretty nice. Not as great as mine, but still. And now pretty much taking care of Rocky Romero. Akira gets thrown right into Brian Cage. Lots of flippy dippity doos. With a cannonball by Hanare. Triangle of moonsault by Akira. Now Rocky Romero and Will Ocean Spray in the ring. You're an idiot. Rocky Romero it's like, oh look, and he slides us the Eddie Guerrero dance, and then fucking Ocean Spray hits the hidden blade. 1, 2, 3. I mean, really? Rocky Romero, you are a fucking idiot. No wonder you're a jobber now. From a guy that used to be tag team champions in New Japan with Roppongi Vice. Now he's a fucking joke. It's a joke. Because he tried to be like me, and that's what he gets, that cabrón, that pendejo, that pedo. It's a piece of crap. Exactly, Eddie. Thank you. Thank you. You're a better Latino than him anyway. Fuck him. Oh, you're really on it tonight, Issy. You're really excited. Calm down, pendejo. Calm down, Issy. Tranquilo. Okay, I'm sorry. Right. Hold on. Cheers. Nothing in here, by the way. There's no alcohol. I don't drink that. Don't worry, I bought you a bottle of sangria for this weekend, Issy. Shut up. Eddie, we don't talk about that here. I'll put it away later. Okay. Thank you. What? No, nothing. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy anything. Nothing. Me and Eddie were just talking about how great we are. Cook! Alright, we got that. What is Ocean Spray saying? Call somebody? I don't know. Weirdness. Anyway. Alright, so Roddy and Kyle are ready for their match. Coming up later. Alright, then we got Heishiso and Brian Cage. The CMLL World title not on the line. I didn't really give two craps for this match. It was good. Didn't care for it that much. Almost 13 and a half minutes. Heishiso gets the win. after rolling Brian Cage around, ties up the arm so he couldn't kick out. Inventive. Smart. So Chasero goes to the quarterfinals. We got that. Now we have Renee Paquette and Okada in the back. So we got that. Let me move on. Alright, then we got Darby Allin, guys, he's back. Talks about how it's Stink! Told him that he didn't have to change a thing. Kevin Knight has changed everything to be a champion. What kind of family is a Don Callis family? You're a bunch of fucking idiots. That's what I think. Darby gives Kevin his word that he won't jump him or attack him before All In because he's a great guy. I'm a great guy, guys. I never would do that. Right. Okay, Darby, you lying sack of shit. And Darby sounded like he was next to a train. Where the fuck was he? Was he in Seattle? Or was he in Chicago? You know, they have trains too. So, I don't know. It was like weird. Like, where is this guy? In the train yard? I don't know. Alright, then we got the Rascals smoking a doobie, as always, in their smoky room. And then, oh god, the Ring of Honor TV champion, Gozer, the Kazarian, Leo Rush, the lead! Him! Gozer! Hot dogs! I like hot dogs. Yeah, I like hot dogs too. Cody likes hot dogs, I like hot dogs. Apparently, Leo Rush likes hot dogs now. I'm getting around. Alright, so we go from Okada to the Promoster! Kyle Fletcher with Tony Baloney. So Okada and Fletcher, I guess, is going to be, I don't know if it's made yet, but it might be happening at All In for the Intercontinental title. Let me get that. Alright, so Gozer comes in, Gozer the Kazarian pops in, talks about how everyone needs friends. It scares the Rascals away. I think they have a match later, and it's like weird. Leo Rush is just an amazing guy. I met him before he became Gozer. When it was actually Leo Rush, the good guy, you know, the guy was high flying and going all over the place. Now he's just Gozer. Gozer! Darlene! Him! Hot dogs! Crazy fuck. Yeah, he is Gozer. You seen Gozer lately? You seen Ghostbusters. You know what Gozer looks like. I thought Gozer was a man. Gozer could be anything he wants to be. Ray? Go get her, Ray! Are you a god? No? Well, die! Ray, when somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes! I couldn't. Shut up, Ray! God damn. Ray's an idiot, but he makes up for it in Ghostbusters Reunion, whatever the Resurrection, whatever the fuck that one is without, well, sadly that we all lost, Mr. Egon. Egon passed away, sadly. But at least he made up for it in that movie. Because he's like, Ghost is like, are you a god? And Ray's like, this time I said yes! Yeah, I'm a god, what of it? Ghost should have still kicked his ass. But obviously did not. Moving on. Alright, then we got Lena Cross and Mega Bane, Divine Dominion, taking on Rachel Riveter, and Maserati. I know you. Meaningless 2-minute suckfest. Divine Dominion get the win with Divine Intervention. And then after the match, the Brawling Birds, JB Hayter, and Alex Windsor, they come out for a fight. But the champs leave. That's pretty much it. We move on. Alright, they're in the back, Renee Paquette with my girl Zeta Steele. Been waiting to face Mercedes Moné. Comes in to interrupt. Zeta says, I lost all respect for you after what you did to Willow. And Mercedes like, I don't care. Then she hits her with an elbow and knocks her out. I'm like, you bitch. I was like, I hope Zeta beats her. I'll be laughing up a storm. Where we get that? Alright, there we have Nigel McGuinness, me love, taking on Katsuyori Shibata. I'm gonna tentative code of honor. Match was great though. 12.5 minutes. Shibata was working on the ankle, which comes into play later, but Shibata grabbed the sleeper. Nigel dropped back, flipped over like a WrestleMania 8 pin, and he gets the win, moves on to face Chasero in the quarterfinals, but his ankle was all messed up, and people was like, I don't know if he's gonna continue in the tournament. Then he said on Monday that his ankle's all messed up, but he's still gonna give it his all, and he wants to go to All In and fight in front of his countrymen in England, and that's that. Oh, here comes Takeshita. But take a shitter. Now we get that. Moving on. Alright, good match though. Good match. Alright, Will Ospreay is going to call some friends from Japan. Like I said, Akira Hanari to take on the Down Cows family, which they just won. Alright, then we get a video on, hey kids, it's Edge and Christian taking on the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team belts. That's going to be epic. Then we get the Rascals and Gozer taking on Joe Braxton, Jeaux, Joe Braxton, Fresco-Matic, Watson, and Ice Williams, 4 Hamanagers from the Las Vegas indie scene, I guess. And the Rascals and Leo get the win after Leo's cravat choke, that crazy choke, makes Watson tap in 2.5 minutes. Boring match. And then afterwards, the Hurt Syndicate, we heard people, they come out, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and Bobby Lashley, they come out, have a weird stare down with Leo Rush. Interesting. Takeshita's beating the shit, well, at first he was beating the shit out of Takeshita. Takeshita hit the Falcon Arrow, and now they're kind of in a going back and forth looking for a tombstone power driver. Takeshita throws Fletcher into the turnbuckle shoulder first, hits a poison Rana. Now he hits a Kogayame. Knee strike, V-trigger, whatever you want to call it. Now he's looking for Raging Fire. And he hits it. Puts the champ down. Where's Okada in all this? Okada won't even give 2 fucks, I guess. I'm telling you, I think we're going to get a triple threat. We might get a triple threat at All In. I would love it. I love it. Damn. Fletcher's neck looks like... It's like, my neck. Well, Sky Blue might have to do a neck wrench after, you know what I mean? Alright, we got that. Alright, so meaningless garbage match there. Then we get to more jobbers. We got the Hurt Syndicate teaming up with Shane Taylor Promotions of Shane Taylor and, Lee Moriarty, who else is in it? And, the Infantry, Carly Bravo, and the Captain, Sean Dean. They take on Sonico, Sonic the Hedgehog? No, Sonico, Jake Redondo, I know you, Ro Montana, and Hootie or Julie Montana. I guess they're brothers. The Montana brothers, I guess. So we get that. This was even worse. Another 2-minute garbage fest. Shane Taylor, basically the Hurt Business just stood out at ringside, just like looked. Shane Taylor by himself beat the fuck out of these 4 jobbers. Hits the Marcus Garvey driver on Redondo. 2-minute garbage fest. I was like, am I watching Ring of Honor? What is this? I don't get that. Alright, then the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa, or Gefka. He's in the Casino Gauntlet, warns everyone else that's involved in the match. Simple to the point, okay. Then we get Mercedes versus my girl Zeta Steel. Mercedes wins in 8 minutes with the Statement Maker, bitch. We get that. Then after the match, she continues to beat up Zeta and Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, until Willow comes out and chases her off. So we'll see what happens tonight with that. Alright, then we get a video after Dynamite with a very bloody Jack Perry, ready to become the world champion, and he knows what he has to do to get there. Wants to face former world champions, so then Swerve comes in, tells Jack Perry, you can't beat me, and Jack Perry's like, I disagree with that. Sign me up for that, we got that. Alright, then we get a video for Ocean Spray and Kenny. Kenny can't stand the Don Callis family, so him and the Bucks are going to reform the Elite. Well, actually, we're going to team up as the Elite, face 3 of those Hamanagers as of tonight. And then Edge and Christian come in, talk to the Bucks. Kenny leaves, and then the Bucks tell Edge and Christian they're old enough to be their father, and then Christian's like, who says I'm not? Then the Bucks like, yeah, we got nothing here. Okay, that was good. We got that. Alright, main event time. Kyle O'Reilly and Roddy, 13-minute classic. This felt like Ring of Honor so many years ago. We're getting to the end. Cross arm break was blocked. Then he strike it out. Roddy's knee gets a near fall. To get back up, Kyle quickly pulls him into a small package. 1, 2, 3. Wow, Kyle O'Reilly gets the win and moves on into the tournament. I thought it was a pretty good match. And then afterwards, I guess they shake hands, obviously. Even though Roddy was kind of pissed. And then shoves him. But then he's like, hey, I didn't mean it. Pulls him back in the ring. Okay. Hey, I know you were pissed, but, you know, one of us had to go in. Alright, so we got that. Alright, so Collision wasn't that bad as well, so I gave that 6.5 out of 10 stars. So, Dynamite, 7, Collision, 6.5. Let me know what you guys thought of the shows down below in the comment section. Like Trick Woody would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, gonna watch the rest of Dynamite. So, always been pretty, You know, Ocean Spray Team won, and then great segment with Takeshita, Fletcher, and then we got the segment with Okada. Now we're getting back to the ring, hopefully with some more action. We got a fatal 4-way match for the TBS title. Maya World defending against Persephone, Sheeta, and Chris Cakelander. So somebody's going to be... We'll see if Maya can keep the title. We got that. Now we got another Kenny Ocean Spray thing. So yeah, so us actually All In starts at 1 p.m. So first 2 hours are gonna be, you know, first 2 hours of All In. Pretty much, well, the Triple Op pay-per-view starts at 12 on YouTube, and I think that's an hour or 2 hours. I don't know how long that pay-per-view is, but we're gonna go to All In from 1 to 3, and then pretty much from 3 to 5, maybe 6 o'clock, we're going head-to-head with the tail end of All In and the beginning of Heat Wave on the CW11 at 3 p.m. So, look at that. Good stuff. Alright, now we got Renee with Kenny and Ocean Spray for a sit-down interview, and that's that. Alright, so we're gonna go to that, and that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night. I will be back a little bit later with your TNA and double your pleasure, double your fun Ring of Honor reviews for last Thursday and yesterday on YouTube, and get ready for tomorrow night's festivities for Ring of Honor as well. And then we'll get back to Raw. We'll get to Raw, NXT, get to AEW, Dynamite, and Collision. We'll get to Death Before Dishonor predictions, Lockdown predictions over the weekend, also Lockdown review. So we got a lot of videos coming this week and next week, and a weekend after that, because we got Sunday night's main event and your Labor Day weekend coming up. So please hit that bell, turn on all notifications on all my channels, and that's all I gotta say about that. So we're rolling on to pretty much, we'll see how we get how we are as we get to the holiday season. My work schedule's coming up, so it's gonna be changing in September, so I might not be here as much going forward into 2020, at the end of this year. Next year, definitely we'll start off with a semi-bang. Be back in 2027 with more videos. Pretty much up until, I would say, about I'll try to get, depends on my spring schedule, I'll try to get through WrestleMania, maybe into Memorial Day weekend, but we'll see what happens with that, and that's all that matters. Alright guys, I am out of here, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.